Good morning. Welcome to Cal Poly's College of Architecture and Environmental Design. This is an opportunity for all of our new students in the college to learn a little bit about the college before you go and meet with your departments later this morning. So this program is starting at 10 today, and then at 11 o'clock, you will be moving into meetings with faculty to discuss your majors. My name is Christine Theodoropoulos. I am the Dean of the College of Architecture and Environmental Design. As Dean, my role is to support the success of students, of faculty, and staff to have, a wonderful academic and co-curricular and extracurricular experience. I am an architect and a structural engineer. But primarily, I have spent my career as an educator, and I have taught architectural design, and I've also taught architecture students principles of structural design. Over the course of today, you will be meeting many of our faculty and learning a little bit about their interests and their roles in your program. So we're going to talk a little bit about the college, then we're going to talk a little bit about student life. Before I begin, I just wanted to mention that, we were trying to choose images today that would tell you something about the college. And we made the choice to show images from about a year ago. It's certainly not what campus looks like today with all of the responsibilities we have related to public health, but it is where we hope to get back to when it's possible. So please understand that these are kind of our recent past and hopefully not too far future. We do have question and answers open for you. Please do go ahead and jot anything down, and we will respond to them if we have time at the end. As you think about the College of Architecture and Environmental Design, I ask you to think about it as a school of schools. We are a professional school that prepares graduates to shape the built environment. There are many roles for doing that, and each one of our majors focuses on one of those roles. And so you will recognize among the 5 majors listed: city and regional planning, landscape architecture, architectural engineering, and construction management, the major that you applied to. We also have minors, and I wanted to just point this out because it's a great way to enrich your education across the college. All of our majors have minors. So if you are an architecture student, you can minor in architectural engineering. And if you're a landscape architecture student, you could minor in construction management. You can match and mix these things to kind of expand your interests. And then we do have a few interdisciplinary minors. Heavy civil construction is a minor between our construction management and Cal Poly's civil engineering program. The real property development minor is effectively a kind of real estate studies program. And then we have a sustainable environments minor that really looks at all of the things that we need to do to shape the built environment sustainably. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each program. You're going to learn so much more when you go meet with your departments, but I'm going to just introduce the department head and tell you one of my favorite things about each program. So Michael Boswell, head of city and regional planning. This program is known for the amazing work that they do for small towns and local communities in California. It is very much oriented toward learning how to work with communities to envision plans for the future. And every student, when they graduate, has been a participant in developing one or more plans that are considered by and sometimes adopted by California communities. Landscape architecture is a design program. People are designing meaningful outdoor places. Uh, but the media that is used in that design is very closely connected with natural ecologies. So students in landscape architecture are kind of a little bit in between that world of architecture and planning. They have to wear both hats. They are master planners, they are ecological planners, but they are also creators of space that people occupy. Oh, and I think I need to introduce Bev Bass. I forgot to do that. Sorry, Bev Bass, head of landscape architecture, will be meeting with those of you in the major at 11. The architecture department, headed by Margot McDonald, is, as all architecture programs are, primarily focused on the building as the unit of study. But this doesn't mean that they're confined to just the building. They look at elements inside the building, such as a piece of furniture. They also look at how buildings interact with each other and with other systems to make neighborhoods, districts, and develop sites. One of the things that our architecture program is known for is a kind of a making culture in the way that design is approached, and that making happens in the virtual world. Through very innovative use of all kinds of digital tools. And it also happens in the physical world as students make physical models and prototypes of architectural elements. So a very hands-on kind of learning method. Architectural engineering, headed by Al Estes, focuses primarily on the structural systems. Buildings have many engineered systems, and although our architectural engineers get introduced to all of them, they become deeply expert in understanding structural systems. They work very closely with architecture students to do that, and the two majors actually unite together at the beginning of the program. One of the strongest undergraduate structural engineering programs in the country. And then finally, you will be meeting Zhang Wu shortly if you are a construction management major. Construction management is the field that basically delivers all of the plans and designs. They realize them. And really, when you look at that program, its greatest strength is that it is a leadership development program. Students in construction management learn how to harness resources, assist collaboration, and solve the challenges of creating unique and meaningful places. So that gives you a little bit of an introduction of all of our programs. I'd like to hand this off to James Mwangi, who will tell you a little bit about Learn by Doing in the college.
Good morning or good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are. My name is James Mwangi, and I'm the Associate Dean for Program Support and Operations in our college. I'm a structural engineer by profession and also a professor of architectural engineering. My role as the Associate Dean in this college is basically to oversee the facilities that enable the learn by doing activities to succeed. Whatever you are doing in the college, the building and the testing happens in these facilities. And those are the ones that I'm going to talk about briefly. As we basically go through this COVID, one of the things that we are going to be short of is basically the time that we can spend in these spaces. To start with, of course, technology will be the most important part of you are learning at this particular time, probably this quarter and next quarter. And to be able to support you, we do have the CAED or a college IT team. It is a 4-person team, and basically they are here really to support all your technology needs. You definitely, anytime that you have a problem with your technology, could it be either hardware or software, and you need to talk to somebody, this is the people to talk to. this is really where your success is gonna start, especially these 2 quarters. For some of you who are in, say, for example, in a lab or an activity class that is scheduled for face-to-face, you might see some limited use of shops, for example. And our support shop here is led by Dave. He's our shop manager, and usually he's assisted by Vince and Tim. And these are really the people that you're gonna see, even if you don't have a face-to-face, when we go back to our new normal, you will be able to basically visit these people in these spaces so that they can help you. Besides the support shop, we also have a digital fabrication lab that is also overseen by Dave and his 2 helps, who are, Vincent and Tim. These are people, again, that are gonna be helping you along the way when these, the public health guidance lets us to use these indoor spaces. Besides the DFAB, we also have what we call the NRC, or the New Resource Center. Again, this is gonna be closed at this particular time, but if you absolutely need to get any information from here, let Robert know. Robert oversees this, and if there's anything that he can help you, remotely to access any of the data that is there, then he will be able to do that remotely. But at this time, this space will be closed. Besides that, we also have Jesse. Jesse is really the person that helps our students and our faculty and staff to basically acquire information from the Kennedy Library. As you already know, Kennedy Library also is gonna be closed, and therefore they are trying to find ways of basically getting contactless resources, and Jesse will be the person to be able to help you in this if you need to get anything from the library. We also have Joseph that basically runs our photo lab. This lab, again, happens in indoor space, and it will be closed for this, this quarter. But if there's anything that Joseph can help you remotely, please don't hesitate to contact him. If there's anything that he can be able to do without any face-to-face, Joseph will be available to help you in this capacity. We also have what we call the plot center, and this is where basically the students will go and plot those big plots. They are the 30 by 42s, 24 by 36s that you cannot use your typical printer to do. And this space again will be closed, and hopefully when our new normal comes back, this facility will be open for you. Thank you.
Oops. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mark Cabrina. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs for the college. I'm an architect. I practiced primarily with innovative K-12 schools. And the more time I designed schools, the more I thought I actually wanted to be in one teaching. So I've been at Cal Poly now for some time, since 2002. And one of my primary roles as Associate Dean for Academic Affairs is student support. I work with faculty on curriculum, strategic initiatives, and very importantly, as we'll share later, efforts in the college to develop diverse, equitable, and inclusive learning environments and how that impacts the communities that we design and create. Now, many of you right now might be feeling a little bit like this. Even though we're all in very different spaces and places, you're finding your way around Cal Poly. And what I wanted to do with a couple of these slides is just share some common things that we see, and making sure that you all feel welcome and that you know that you're not alone. First of all, in the first 4, 5, 6 years that you might spend at Cal Poly, life is going to happen, right? You might have career doubts, roommate issues, financial concerns, and many things outside of school, personal and family issues that will come up. There is support for you. All of you come to Cal Poly, and particularly in our college, as very successful and ambitious students. This is fantastic, and we love to have you. One of the challenges is, though, that it's important to know that about 12% of our students at some time will face academic probation. That happens when you're at less than a 2.0 GPA. Now that might seem striking to many of you that might have come here with a 3.5 or a 4.0, but the structure and pace of the university courses can be challenging. And the big aspect of this is that's okay. if you get a letter from me and through Mitra, as you'll introduce in a minute, that's okay. We're here to help you. Another thing that happens from about 10 to 15% of our students is wanting to change their major. Now, you might have heard a lot about this, and it is okay. The important thing is to really kind of engage these questions early. And if you're having any career doubts or thinking about your change of major, talk to people about it. Talk to your colleagues. You can talk to department heads in different majors, and you certainly can reach out to myself, as well as the College Advising Center, as I'll introduce in a minute. So the big idea here is no matter what you're feeling is, you're not alone, right? If you're feeling something, I guarantee you somebody else is feeling that as well. And so you're definitely not alone, both in terms of your peers as well as the university support. So with that, I look forward to, or I'm happy to introduce Mitra, our director of the CAED Advising Center.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everyone. My name is Mitra Nafisi, and I'm academic advisor for the college. And I provide academic advising and related services to all 5 majors within the college. I'm going to talk a little bit about other advisors on campus for you. The Student Mustang Success Center is Cal Poly's first-year academic advising center. They specialize in supporting you as a new freshman throughout your first year. And then we have our college advising center that we provide advising to all the CAED students, new transfer students, all the continuing students, and we look forward to meeting all of you freshmen as you transition to your second year next year. Advising centers are valuable resources that we encourage you to utilize frequently throughout your time at Cal Poly to ensure that you are taking the right courses, understanding key advising tools and degree requirements. And we also provide so many other resources to your services to you. We're providing information about college, department, and university policy and procedures, assist with progress towards your degree, help you to have a balanced and realistic schedule, provide academic probation counseling. As Mark mentioned, some of you might get, hopefully not, but if you get on academic probation, so we are available to assist you to get back on track with your major and curriculum. There are so many resources available on campus that I'm going to talk a little bit about them later. You not only you have academic advisors like me in the college and at the Mustang Success Center, but you also have faculty advisors. Faculty advisors can assist with course scheduling, course content questions, career planning, graduation school, and job and future jobs. You are encouraged, all transfer students and freshmen, to see your faculty advisors every quarter. Some of the departments have mandatory advising like ARCE and CM, Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Management. So please check with your department to find out who your faculty advisor is. Please meet your advisors, faculty or academic advisor, as soon as you notice that you need help. And even better, be proactive and seek out resources before you really need it. We all are here to support you every step of the way to make it a great academic experience for you. As you can see in the diagram, the quarter system goes so quickly, and it's just 10 weeks. And please be aware of the deadlines regarding add, drop deadlines, credit, no credit, if you are going to choose credit, no credit grades for some of your GEs this quarter. Please be aware of the deadlines. Midterms and first midterms, second midterms, and finals approaching really fastly. And then winter registration, your time and date will be posted on your student center. Please take a look at your student center before the registration starts. Please plan ahead, keep up with your assignment and studying. Keep an extensive planning on your phone or your computer so you have, for whatever project or assignment coming up. Start paper and long project early so you can, they don't sneak up on you. Cramming really doesn't work. It's not even fun to do it. We don't recommend to do that. So there are other tips that I'm gonna introduce to you for success during your stay at Cal Poly. Attend every class, engage in classroom discussion and activities, attend office hours. Each instructor hold weekly office hours to allow you meet with them to ask questions and review the course material. Utilize your Cal Poly email. Email is the official mean of communication through Cal Poly, so you don't want to miss out any good information and necessary information. Utilize academic support resources. We have free tutoring, we have study sessions, supplemental workshop for math and physics. Please visit Academic Skills Center webpage for information regarding supplemental workshop and how to sign for those. And Writing and Learning Center is a great place that they provide free tutoring for all the subjects. I will post all those links in the chat for you. Looking forward to connect with each and every one of you soon. Transfer student, please connect with me via Zoom or email. Freshmen, looking forward meeting you all at the end of this year. Wish you all a great academic year at Cal Poly.
Thank you so much, Mitra. So Mitra talked about one of the really important aspects of the university support, which is the student academic services. So our university-wide Mustang Success Center, our college advising center, and department advising. I wanted to talk about a couple of other aspects of student support that are offered to you across the university. And I'd like to start with a really wonderful opportunity we have with university housing through our faculty in residence. Padma?
Great. Hi, welcome. My name is Padma Maitland. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm assistant professor of architectural history, theory, and criticism here at Cal Poly. I started last year, and mostly I kind of teach two kinds of classes. I teach the large kind of global survey of architecture, where I will meet or have a chance to meet and work with many of you during your time here at Cal Poly. As well as kind of smaller seminars that are more focused on specific times or regions or ideas. My own research focuses on modern Buddhist art and architecture in India. And I have background kind of in architectural practice, particularly in conservation and restoration work in Nepal, and kind of curatorial work in museums here in the US. I'm here though to talk to you in my capacity as faculty in residence. Like some of you, I actually just moved onto campus last week. And I'm settling in during these kind of unusual times where things are a little bit different. You know, normally we might be meeting for kind of workshops and events and dinners and get-togethers with faculty. This year, at the start particularly, we're doing that virtually. And so I'll be kind of organizing and hosting a series of workshops, events, chances to meet with faculty through workshops on drawing, or just to share a poem or a drawing, and hopefully kind of for some kind of virtual outings to see events or meet artists or architects. I really just wanted to stress that I'm another support for you during this time. I'm another person to reach out to, and particularly another person to help kind of build community in housing and think about ways that we can connect virtually through workshops, through activities, sharing ideas, experiences in a multiple ways. So if that's something you're interested in doing or being involved with, I encourage you to reach out to me. And again, welcome. I look forward to seeing you all soon.
Great, thank you so much, Padma. Another really important aspect of student support that you may not think of right now is our career services. Our career services liaison is Jade Moreno. She can be reached through the website and was really kind of quite happy to connect with you along several aspects. First is Jade is a member of our freshman focus team. And so what the freshman focus team is really helps to connect with, as you would guess, our freshmen, exploring kind of ideas about career identity. If you're having doubts about your careers or looking at alternate careers, they have different ways of discussing your interests, including different kinds of, I think it's like an aptitude test that they give. As well as our college specialist, she can really help kind of thinking about career opportunities, resume reviews, and the really important thing is that students are beginning internships earlier and earlier. And so there are great opportunities for you to reach out to learn through those internships, and in some cases, earn some professional credit in those internships as well. One of the opportunities we have for you to connect with both with alumni that are recent grads as well as established practitioners is through our career connections at Cal Poly. This is it's kind of like LinkedIn, if you would, but it's very specific to Cal Poly alumni, and we have a specific CAED community that we're building within this. This is a relatively new platform, and so I'd really encourage you to Google Career Connections at Cal Poly. You can log in, create an account through your Cal Poly email, and I would encourage you to join the CAED group. When you do that, you'll actually see a series of videos that have been recently completed with students who have had internships and other students that are interviewing practitioners. So it's a great way very early on to be engaged with our professional alumni community. There are a few other services as well that I just want to take note. I recognize this is a lot, but the Dean of Service, Campus Health and Wellbeing, as well as the Disability Resource Center that we internally refer to as the DRC. Now, the Dean of Students office can do many things for you. It can be a neutral place if you have some concerns about what's going on in a classroom. Very wonderful people. I meet with, Mitra and I both meet with the Dean of Students every other week to kind of get updates on students. But there are two things I really want you to take note of. One is the Cal Poly Cares. Cal Poly Cares is emergency funding for students when things go sideways, when things go ways that you didn't expect, and you need a little bit of support to help you through a particular quarter or sometimes a couple of quarters. It is emergency funding. It's not shouldn't be seen as a scholarship, but it is certainly there as a grant to support you if you have needs with emergency housing. You know, sometimes it's tuition, sometimes for our students, it can be materials and supplies. Again, it can be difficult to memorize a lot of websites. So I just want you to remember Cal Poly Cares, and you can Google that, and that will lead you directly to that website. Cal Poly Cares is closely associated with the Dean of Students Basic Needs initiative. Now, in the 5 or 6 years you might be at Cal Poly, life does happen, and things can go in ways that you didn't expect. And the Basic Needs does many things. It can help with a food pantry that we have. We have a professional clothing drive. Lots of different opportunities for student support through both Cal Poly Cares and Basic Needs. Campus Health and Wellbeing is a place for you to go not only for physical health and colds, but also if you're having any concerns about mental health, or if you're just feeling a little bit off, please go and visit, right? If you're feeling a little bit down, this is a great place to go and get support. And what's really important, while it does have a physical presence on campus, they have a virtual presence right now as well. So you can find more about Campus Health and Wellbeing through that website. And similarly with the Disability Resource Center, a lot of students, as they engage in their coursework at Cal Poly, might find that they need a little support, or sometimes they'll find that they're struggling a little bit in their learning. And so the DRC is a place for students to get support. They can get extra time on exams, note takers. And the DRC, what they'll do is they'll help evaluate the situation and assess your needs and provide support. So the DRC is a great opportunity for you as well. So the other great place to get support is through your peers. So I really encourage you to think about engaging in a club. This could be a university-wide club through our ASI, that's the Associated Students Incorporated. It could be a college-wide club, and we have numerous different college-wide clubs, both interdisciplinary clubs as well as major specific clubs. What I would ask you to do is if you're interested in a club, our website has been updated with new club leadership. Now, clubs as well aren't meeting face-to-face, but that doesn't mean that you can't still build a connection with those clubs, as many clubs will still be continuing an online or virtual presence. So again, if you're wondering what the clubs are, I would just encourage you, instead of memorizing the website, just think Cal Poly CAED clubs. Google that and it will take you directly to our website. Now, one of the most exciting places for interdisciplinary engagement that's happening in our college right now, and I'd say across the university, is through diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are many different facets and aspects of developing diversity, and I think this image is important because it does take many hands. In fact, it takes all of our hands to all developing different aspects of ourselves and how we promote and develop a diverse, equitable, and inclusive environments, both in terms of our campus culture, our classroom climate, but also in who we are as professionals and who we engage with professionals. We have two different committees that are engaged with DEI in the college. One is a student committee who is also then working with a faculty committee. So what I want you to see is each one of your faculty, and there's representation in each one of your majors in the faculty committee. But I'm really happy to introduce our students. Our student leadership and diversity, equity, and inclusion have been phenomenal in hosting a series of workshops and in engaging a truly interdisciplinary group of students through workshops and seminars and wonderful reading groups. So Soham and Dolores.
Thanks, Mark. Hi there, everyone. As Mark mentioned, my name is Soham Patel. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm currently an incoming third-year architecture major with a minor in ethnic studies in science, technology, and society. As mentioned, I'm one of the co-chairs, and I'm here zooming in from San Luis Obispo.
Hi, my name is Dolores Herrera. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am an incoming architectural engineering grad student. And as Soham mentioned, we are the co-chairs of the Student Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for the college. And the Student Committee is a group of students of all majors of the college who work together to build an inclusive environment. We are the liaison between students, faculty, and administration. Therefore, we communicate heavily with these groups. And as Mark mentioned, we have a faculty DE&I committee to support students and go beyond to implement their DE&I initiatives in the classroom. So the student committee also focuses on policies of the college by giving our student recommendations regarding performance at the college and department levels, curriculum, and the hiring process. We host a number of events, including student-led and guest speaker-led workshops, socials, and supply drives. For fall quarter, we plan to continue our Unlearning series, a student-led workshop series we started this summer, where we discuss topics like anti-racist design, placemaking, and gentrification. And we are also working to collaborate with career services to inform CAED students about more opportunities like alumni networking, graduate school, and career services events. Now I'll hand it off to Soham, who will talk about how to connect with us.
Yes, and so as Dolores has mentioned, in the fall, even though we're all online, we're looking for ways to keep on engaging with students. And so that'll be in different ways, like workshops, events, and lectures. And I really encourage you all, we're gonna be releasing our lineup of events within this next week on our Instagram and our Linktree, which as you can see on the slide are listed there. And so really encourage you to check out these events, especially as a way to kind of explore more about what's going on in the college and learn more about different departments or different career paths or opportunities within the built environment. And so you can connect with us using our Instagram. That's currently kind of our main page of reaching out through this for the student DEI committee. But we're also looking forward in the fall for setting up a Canvas page that all of you can add to your Canvas portals and get access to resources that we put out. As Dolores mentioned, over the summer, we did do an Unlearning series, which we discussed topics of anti-Blackness in the built environment. And so we compiled a lot of resources about that, which you can also find on our Instagram, and you will find on our Canvas. And you might, after hearing the things that we do, think like, oh, we're very committee-like. We also are registered as a student org, and we do try and put on events to connect students and whatnot. And so please don't feel that like Dolores and I are these distant figures. We are still students at the end of the day, and we will probably be in some of your classes. And so don't feel afraid to reach out to us. Our Instagram is there. You can also find Dolores and I through our emails and social media. And we have 22 members on our student committee, so chances are you're gonna meet someone who's on there. So reach out to us, DM the Instagram, check out the YouTube channel where we've recorded our past events, so you can learn more about us and connect with us.
Thank you, Soham and Dolores. I'm really looking forward to the Unlearning series continuing this fall. I really enjoyed the sessions this summer. So new students, I know that was a lot to learn and a lot of information. And so what I would like to do in conclusion is really focus around the heart of the college's studio and lab culture. Now, I know it might look a little bit different for you this fall, maybe as we move into winter and spring, but over your time at Cal Poly, that studio lab culture will continue, whether we're virtual this year or part of this year, and face-to-face as you move forward. Three really key aspects of respect, safety, and the opportunity are core to our studio lab culture. So respect happens as we engage quite frequently in peer-to-peer learning. We learn certainly through professors and lectures, but we all know, even us professors know, one of the best places for you to learn is through peer-to-peer engagement, discussing ideas. And so respect for each other, respect for each other's ideas, and developing a truly inclusive environment and listening to other points of view is critical to that studio lab culture. Safety is critical, right? And so we talk about safety in terms of our engagement of our hands-on curriculum. We talk about safety in terms of PPE, which is something that probably everyone is getting familiar with these days. Personal protective equipment, which is part of some of our professional standards in industry. But being safe also has to do with respecting where you are in the environment you are. And we're always in an environment, whether it's a virtual environment or a physical environment, it is still an environment that involves safety. So we really ask that part of that respect of each other is also a respect of the environment, and how we develop a safe environment in the college facilities are ours. I want you to shift that thinking from your entering into Cal Poly and it's Cal Poly. This is your university. The facilities are ours, and that will, certainly unfold itself to you as time goes on. And the wonderful thing that I've really enjoyed the most as a studio professor is the opportunity for students to lead. We see this already with Soham and Dolores and our current leaders and our past leaders in our DEI committee, and the activities, the way they're really promoting and fostering an inclusive environment across the entire college. That happens within your classes as well, and that happens within your majors as well. So I really encourage you to take that opportunity to be engaged, to reach out to your colleagues. And if you're interested in starting something, or if there's something that you don't see but you would like, reach out. You can certainly reach out directly to me, to the College Advising Center, to your faculty, and certainly your peers. We are all here to support you. Now, I know this fall looks a little bit different, and part of that we really do have to really remind you, and I don't know that we really need to remind you, right? But I think it's present on all of our minds, the incredible responsibility we all bear to mitigate the ongoing aspect of this virus. And I do want to share, very importantly, I was already in a meeting this morning, and incoming students into the dorms have been phenomenal and respectful. And I just want to thank you in advance for that. The environment is ours. We're all part of it. And so really do hope that we all can be responsible as we hopefully move past this virus. Now, one of the great aspects that I hope you're all familiar with that this page is really about is what's called the Fall Roadmap. You can simply Google Cal Poly Roadmap and this will come up. There is a lot of information here, but if you find the student link, which I've given in this website up above, a lot of the information that we've talked about, including student support, is present in the Fall Roadmap for students. So I really encourage you, if you haven't already, become very familiar with that website. I look forward to meeting you online, and even more, I look forward to in the near future of meeting with you face to face. The last thing I just wanted to share, though, is not just kind of thinking about our physical health, but our mental health and wellness. And what's really important for students, and I'm going to really encourage that you actually might think about, if you don't already keep a calendar, start developing a calendar, but have in that calendar not just times for courses, not just times to study, put you time in that calendar, all right? Make sure that student and the quarter becomes so busy, it's very easy to constantly attend to coursework, to all kinds of class-related things. Please make time for yourselves. And I think that's a really important aspect of wellness, whether that means scheduling an hour to read a book, whether that means when we can go to the rec center, but really importantly, there are lots we can do now. And so we're sharing images of our Poly Canyon, where we have many experimental structures. It is a beautiful place to hike, and hiking is one of the fantastic things you can do right now to get out in nature, to develop your wellness. So I just want to leave you with this, is please make time for yourself. Things will get very busy. So keeping a calendar and actually being really strict about making time, me time, is really important. I really encourage you to do that. I encourage you to do it safely. And I look forward to seeing you out there hiking on those trails. Christine, I leave it with you.
So we have just a few minutes left before you need to plan to attend your department meeting. Some of the questions that you are asking that are specific to your academic program, I'm going to wait on, because I think you'll get a much better and more in-depth answer when you go to those meetings. But there were a couple of questions that I think are important. A couple of people asked whether or not there would be field trips this quarter. There will not be any field trip expectations for courses that are virtual. For courses that are face-to-face, it is possible, but most of what we're seeing are field trips that are actually on campus. Now, that said, we have one of the largest campuses in the United States, and so those field trips are quite varied and might relate to activities like surveying or looking at ecological conditions, but we are trying to minimize, the exposure to COVID. And so things like field trips are more minimal now. In general, though, our college is a very field trip active place. And I know that at your time at Cal Poly, you will be attending a lot of field trips. There was another question about our study spaces. Somebody asked about whether or not the college has study spaces and whether or not they will be open. Interior spaces, just for the purpose of general study, are closed all over campus right now. We do have spaces open for face-to-face classes that might use things like computer labs or shops that have particular equipment in them. But what we don't have any open spaces for students to sit in. However, our college is in my opinion, in the best neighborhood on campus, because our buildings surround Dexter Lawn. And what the university has done is increase the reach of Wi-Fi to include many of the central outdoor spaces. So when you come to campus, you're going to see a wonderful lawn to sit on. You're going to see some tables and chairs surrounding that lawn where you could, between campus, sit, access Wi-Fi, and prepare for your next class. We did get a couple of questions about advising and that I thought I would ask Mitra to respond to. One was, how do you make an appointment with your advisor? Mitra?
You can just basically email the advising center, either Mustang Success Center for first year student or CAED advising center at college level. And then we will be happy to make an appointment for you.
And then another question is, what should students do to complete their degree planners?
The degree planner is due by the date of add and drop date. So make sure to follow the deadline and do it. And then I think the expectation is to complete the degree planner is just by the date, add and drop date.
And another thing that I am seeing has to do with kind of supplies and materials and things that people will need. One had to do with what kind of antivirus software students should be making sure they have for their computers. James, could you talk a little bit about just strategies for IT for students and where they can get help?
Yes, so as far as spyware and stuff like this, antivirus programs, I would say if you have a problem and you have a specific question, please email our IT team, because it really depends on what kind of programs you are trying to run and what hardware you have. I think it will be specific on a case-by-case basis, and they are the best person to, or the best people to answer those kind of questions.
I'm seeing a few questions that have to do with connecting to faculty advisors. Your faculty advisor is a faculty member in your major department. So what I'm going to suggest is that you bring these questions up when you go to the department meetings, because they are going to handle your connection to faculty advisors. But that said, all of our faculty have office hours. And if you would like to meet any faculty member in the college, you can find out from their department when their virtual office hours are, and you can go introduce yourself. And I do recommend that you use office hours. It's a great way to connect with the faculty, and they really do want to meet you and hear from you. So don't restrict your dialogue with faculty to just your assigned advisor. You know, with that, I want to make sure that you all have the time you need to be able to make your next meeting. You can find the links for your department sessions at the website that's shown here. You can also find it in some, you can get to it through some of the emails that you've gotten about Academic Day today. We are really happy that you are joining us. We look forward to seeing you virtually and in person. And as the future evolves, involving you in things on campus and in the field. Welcome to Cal Poly. Welcome to the College of Architecture and Environmental Design. We are going to be posting this meeting, the meeting from last week, and some of the frequently asked questions on the college's website. There were a few questions about that. It will be coming to you this week. And please know that you can reach out to any of us. We are here to help. So goodbye, take care. We will see you soon.